Lee Koestner. And now, here's the pitch.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to it. It is the Pitch Sports Show on KCOG Centerville. I'm Russ W. Ocker. Along with me, as always, is the Hall of Famer Lee Koestner, and of course, we'll be joined as well by Josh Bryce to talk about all things Hy-Vee and talk a little sports as well. Well, we have lots of sports to talk about on the show tonight. A lot of exciting things going on. We're fresh off the Michael Lutnick Big Red Invite. The Bluegrass Conference basketball tournament's getting ready to start. We got junior high basketball team, 7th grade team that's got a big night coming up tomorrow night. Also, a couple of thrilling games last night for the Big Reds and Redettes. So we've got a jam-packed show tonight. Brennan Tubaugh is on. He's our 7th grade boys basketball coach. We'll visit with him about how the season's going. Also, Coach Krusic, Coach Kavakovich, and Coach Anthony White will be on to talk wrestling. And we'll have our Do You Know the Rules question, as well as our Power Insurance Hall of Fame challenge. So we've got a busy, busy night here on the Pitch Sports Show. We'll grab a break. We'll come back and get the ball rolling right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. As we head into a brand new year, I would like to say thank you to all of my clients that made 2014 a tremendous year for me and my business. Dozens of first-time customers trusted me with their money and IRA investments. If you have a CD maturing in the near future, you should contact me about my safe money options. You will be pleasantly surprised. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Let's make 2015 a great year for your hard-earned money, and thank you for your business. It's greatly appreciated.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appanese County. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake is one of Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf courses. The golf season will be here before you know it, and the Preserve reminds you it's important to look your best and to have the best equipment. So stop out to their pro shop today. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake has the finest pro shop in the area. Stop out today for golf balls, golf clubs, and anything you need to look and play your best. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake, Southern Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf course and the area's only full-service pro shop.
Hi, folks. Billy Thomas with Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Service. In 2007, we opened the Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Centerville with these thoughts in mind. Provide the area with a funeral home that is supportive of the community and its people beyond the funeral service. Provide superior service that well exceeds those around us. Providing a home-like atmosphere when helping your family tailor the services to your needs. No tricks, no pressure, just genuine care. Doing all of this at the best price. At 37 years of age, I can offer my availability to your family today and decades to come. For information on funerals, cremation, or advanced planning, stop by Thomas Funeral Home or give us a call at 641-856-4321 or in Bloomfield at 641-664-2353.
The Thomas Funeral Home, building a reputation, not resting on one.
You're listening to The Pitch on KCOG Centerville, presented by local Hy-Vee store. Russ Ocker, Lee Koestner, and Josh Bryce. And it is time to talk about all things Hy-Vee. I couldn't help but notice when I came in tonight, Josh, that got a pretty good deal on some, what is that, Jello mold? Hawkeyes? Yes. That is a special pitch special tonight. We're going to put those out there. We've got the Iowa Hawkeye Jello mold with lemon Jello for 50 cents a piece while supplies last. Did that go on sale after last night's game? The first thing this morning, after I saw that first thing this morning, we marked those things down pretty quick. Yeah. We have an overabundance of them, and we're going to put out a good deal tonight. The boss is away at a meeting, so I thought maybe I'd Get a little deal tonight. Well, I got to tell you, I did remember to get in here on Saturday and do my shopping last week. They missed the memo to switch to Sunday. That's what Paul that gave me my 30 cents. So I know you got a lot of great deals going on out here. Tell us about what's going on out at Hy-Vee.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff this week. We have Hy-Vee sandwich bread, wider wheat, 24 ounce for just 88 cents a loaf. And we have Hy-Vee canned vegetables for just 38 cents each. Hy-Vee russet potatoes in a 5-pound bag for just 99 cents. We have a Coca-Cola product, 2 liters for just 88 cents each. Red Baron pizzas, 4 for $10. Fritos, Cheetos, or rolled gold pretzels, just $1.97. And all Hy-Vee pastas are just 77 cents each this week.
All of that right out here at your local Hy-Vee store, and it's still Saturdays are the big fuel saver right now.
Yep, on Saturdays, come in and spend $50 and save 30 cents a gallon on your fuel saver card, along with all the other fuel saver deals we have in the store every day.
All right, come on out. Don't miss out on this 50 cents right in the front door, so they can't miss it.
Well, no, they're sitting right out in front of us. You'll see the card, and then you'll see us sitting here.
You'll see Josh cheering when you sitting there.
You bet.
Well, you brought up the Hawkeyes, Chad. I don't know what Josh had going on last night. I was repping Gordon. You were doing the radio, which spared us having to watch what appeared to be a debacle.
Yeah, it kind of sounds that way. It sounds like they didn't even get off the bus. So it was, let's see here, I wrote it down. Or with 82-50 or 82-80. Yeah. At least Iowa State won. They beat the number 1 team in the Big 12. So ranking or record-wise, they were 4-1 K-State. So we did get a win in the state. So, but yeah, the Hawkeyes just did not get off the bus.
How do you let Wisconsin score 82 points? They don't normally score that in a week.
No, they don't normally a 2-game average. Yeah,
my goodness.
So yeah, they're averaging right around 50 points a game, I think. So, yeah. Apparently they were on fire.
I guess. Sounds like it.
Or a lot of layups, what to do.
All right, we'll grab a break. When we come back, we'll throw out the Ocker Realty first pitch, the Bluegrass Conference Tournament getting ready to kick off. We'll tell you when the area team's playing that. And we've got our first archery results of the year. That's coming up in our first pitch tonight, brought to you by Ocker Realty. That's next on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
This is Amy from the Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square. Valentine's Day is fast approaching. Are you ready to spoil her this year? We carry roses, mixed bouquets, balloons, teddy bears, candy, and gifts sure to wow her. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop in or call today and let our friendly staff help you pick out the perfect gift just for her. Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square, or call 437-4131.
Jackson Home Center is excited to announce that we have moved to a new location. Come check us out, Jackson Home Center on the east side of the Centerville Square. Now through the end of January, with any $500 in-store purchase, you'll receive free rental of the Host dry carpet cleaning machine and a 6-pound box of cleaner. Call us for all your flooring needs at 641-856-6331. That's at Jackson Home Center, east side of the Centerville Square. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 3.
Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitchfork Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon.
You're listening to The Pitch on KCOG Centerville, presented by your local Hy-Vee store, and it is time for the Ocker Realty first pitch. First pitch brought to you by Ocker Realty in Centerville. Give us a call at 437-0500. That's 437-0500. Check us out in our new location at 350 North Kent, Ocker Realty. Russ Ocker, broker, equal housing opportunity firm. All right, earlier today they met and came up with the seedings and the bracket for the Bluegrass Conference Tournament for boys and girls. You know, with the addition of all the new teams the last few years in the Bluegrass, this is actually quite a tournament. A lot of teams in this tournament and a lot of action to look forward to. Let's take a look at our area teams. We'll start with the boys tournament, and we have Moulton Udall. They will play On Saturday night, they get a home game against Lamoni. That's at 7:30. The Molten Udell boys are at 7:30 at home against Lamoni. Now, if they win that, they get to go to Ankeny Christian to take on a very tough Diaco team. So that's what Coach Marching and his team have in store. This Diaco to a first-round bye. Moravia, their boys will take on Murray on Saturday night at 7:30, and they've got to go to Murray for that one. So Moravia has Murray to open up. And then Seymour opens up at Humiston against Mormon Trail on Saturday night. So that's the schedule for our area boys team in the Bluegrass Conference. As for the girls, the Molten Udell girls will open up against Twin Cedars, and that is at Molten. And then if they win, oh boy, they get to go up to Faith Baptist to take on Grandview Christian, who is one of the premier girls basketball teams in the state in the Class 1A. Moravia got a first-round bye. They're a very high seed in this tournament, so they get a bye. They get the winner of Melcher Dallas and Orient Maxburg. They'll play on Monday night against that winner at Moravia. And as for Seymour, they get to make the long trek to Murray on Saturday night for a 6 o'clock tip. Molten also plays at 6 on Saturday night in their game. Seymour goes to Murray for their opening round game. So action starts this Saturday night. The finals will be, semifinals and finals will be at Lamoni, and that will be next Friday and Saturday night. All right, our first Archery League results in for this year, and let's just see who has stepped up early on. And we look at the Adult League first. This last results, this is the second week, first one's reported out. But Henley Diddle just whooped up on Shelter Insurance 3-1. Marshall's Blank Ghost 4-zip, and Fairway all over Lang Funeral Home 3-1. So right now, Marshall's is 8-0 on the year. Fairway's 6-2. Henley's 3-5. Shelter Insurance 3-5. Lang 3-5, and Ghost is 1-7. Kevin Mormon and Richard Polly had the high scores at 300. Team high, Marshall's at 1190. High average, Kevin Mormon and Richard Polly at 300, and the high score over average, Aaron Kinnan, 47. They were key free agent pickups this year for those teams. Yeah, I think so. They signed it in the off season. Now the youth league results: Brady and Olivia. Olivia is 2-1-1 over Brady. Brady 2-0-2 over Ghost. Lucas 4-0 over Corbin. Conager 3-0-1 over Otis, and McKenzie 3-1 over Wyatt. Lucas is now 6-1-1 on the year, very steady with the bow and arrow. Brady 4-1-3, Conager 4-2-2, McKenzie 5-3, and Olivia 4-3-1. Lucas Henderson had the high score of 133, edging out Conager Logston at 132. Lucas Henderson also had the team high score of 133. High average, Lucas Henderson 135, and high score over average, McKenzie Tompkins and Conager Logston at 3. So that's your week 2 archery results. I didn't know you could have a tie in archery. Yeah. I thought it was sudden death. No. Dangerous in archery. Yeah, it's very dangerous. Yeah, you don't want to have sudden death in archery. What's the matter with you? All right, that is our Ocker Realty first pitch. When we come back, we'll go in the box. Brendan Tubaugh joins us, the boys basketball coach for our 7th graders. Those young men are having a heck of a season. He's got good numbers, got a good group of kids. To tell us all about that when we come back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. RK Auto Body has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals. Choose RK Auto Body. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square's got you covered when it comes to men's dress. Whether it's business or casual, Jim Ireland Menswear can help. And for the sports fans, they have lots of sports apparel, from the Hawkeyes and Cyclones to UNI and the Centerville Big Reds and Redettes. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square also has Team Ice Scrapers. Stop in today at Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square. Henley Dental in Centerville offers a full range of dental services, from regular exams to dental cosmetics. Henley Dental can help with all of your dental needs. Call today at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. They offer Clear Correct and porcelain veneers to help make that smile look better. And Dr. Nick Henley would like to remind you of the importance of scheduling a regular exam. You should have your teeth examined and cleaned every 6 months. To schedule your exam today, call 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Dr. Nick Henley at Henley Dental, 203 West Washington in Centerville.
We're talking local sports and a little bit more on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. I'm Russ W. Along with me, the Hall of Famer Chadley Koestner, and we're joined now by, I believe, you're in the Hall of Fame, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Brendan Tubaugh joins us, and I hope so. You only hold about 400 school records, right? Something like that.
Well, if you must tell everybody, yes.
Well, we're thrilled. Brendan Tubaugh joining us now. He is our boys basketball coach for the 7th grade, and of course, we all know him as a young man who took us to a state tournament. He and his teammates gave us quite a thrill for a number of years, two trips to state for you, right? And Bryce, were you on one of those teams? That's what I thought. All right, so Tubaugh and Bryce took us to state, if I remember right. All right, so it's great to have you back here in Centerville. Before we get into the basketball, tell everybody what you are doing back in Centerville.
So, I graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic about 4 months ago. Since then, I've been working with my dad in his clinic, and just really enjoy being back and learning each day from somebody who's done it for 30 years, learning the ins and outs of how to do a business and also how to get people feeling better. So I've been, it's just a joy each day to go to some place where you love to do what you're doing.
And I'd have to think your dad is awfully excited to have you in there with you.
Yeah, he wants to go on vacation sometime, so he's working to someday just, I guess, be gone, and then I can just take over.
So now, how's that work now so far? Does he ever just come in and say, "Yep, but you're on your own. I'm going to head uptown, or I'm going to head to the lake, or go golfing, or whatever it is he likes to do"? And here's a busy day for you.
I tried, but he likes to do what he does every day there at the office, and so far he's staying strong, and he's getting old. He'll probably get me for that tomorrow when I walk in.
Well, let's talk some basketball. You got a great group of young men. You guys are having a fine season. Start, I guess, with the numbers. How many kids you got out?
Yeah, we have 22 guys, and this group, it's a privilege to be associated with them. I'm glad that I chose to take this coaching responsibility on. I didn't at first really know if I wanted to, but after the first practice, I realized that this is a group that has a lot of talent, and they love basketball, and if I can shape them in any way, it would just be a joy to me to watch these guys grow up playing basketball the right way. Their parents have done a tremendous job getting them to the point they are now, and I really don't have to do a lot of basketball stuff with them. I just try to organize it, try not to mess them up too much, and hopefully during the downtime, 6:30 morning practices are really early, and hopefully when I'm talking to them, the ins and outs of the game, or maybe that I've learned playing college basketball and just being around college basketball programs as a coach, maybe they can take a little bit of that with them, and down the road, they can realize that with the next coach that they get, who's talking to them, hey, Coach Tubaugh said that too, and maybe they can kind of carry it with them and learn some good habits. As 7th graders, it's just about getting a love for the game of basketball. If you love to do something, you're going to work hard at it. And if they can take it with them outside the gym and work on their shooting and work on their ball handling and just start loving the game, they're going to get a lot better. So I'm trying to instill that in them each day. We have a big game tomorrow. I mean, we're 7-1 right now. The only loss we've had is to Sheraton in overtime, and we play them tomorrow at Sheraton. So we've had a really good week of practice. When somebody beats us, you tend to concentrate just a little bit more. So we're going to go up there tomorrow with the goal of competing hard. And whatever the score is, the score is. We don't try to win games. We just try to play the game the right way.
And hopefully tomorrow, playing the game the right way, gets us 1 point ahead at the end.
Well, let's talk about some of the kids you have. You used quite a few kids in the A game. I know that's important to you. It's also a luxury that depth. There's a lot of these kids that have a real chance to contribute to the varsity program someday. And you've got some good numbers of kids getting into ball games.
Yeah, I mean, we on the first game we played tonight, I don't call it the A game. I just call it game one. We have about 13 guys on that team, and we've played them all throughout the year, and they've each done a really good job. I mean, Quentin Koestner is a great point guard. I see a little bit of me in him. He probably dribbles it a little bit better than I ever did as a 7th grader. And he really understands the game really well. Trent McCann is another really good player, going to be good. Jace Kirkland, Matt McDonald is a really solid kid. And McCain Odin, he's really, really strong and he's just a really good team player. And you go right down the list. Owen Pazza, he can block a lot of shots. Tyler Starr's coming along a lot here lately. Gage Carson's really fast. Jacob Bauer can shoot. Braden Kruger's got some size. Cade Moore is going to he's one of those kids that's really taking some strides. He's going to be a player down the road. And Cade Lechtenberg can handle the ball pretty good. So, that's our first group of guys that we go with in the first game and have done just a really good job. And, I mean, Noah Craver on the second game and Austin Dell contribute really a lot. Justice Phillips, Cameron Flick, and Cameron Voss, and Henderson, and Bowen, and Starr, and Hughes. I mean, all these guys are just getting a lot better each day. And I just wanted to say their names on the radio because I think they come and they work hard every day. And as a coach, that's all you can hope for.
How much fun are you having with this age group? Because you got these 7th grade boys can be a little ornery. They can have a lot of energy, and I know they're giving you their all and stuff. But how much fun are you just having being around this group?
Well, really, I'm going to miss these guys. They can drive me crazy. Before the games, I want them to watch the 8th grade game, and they are on their phones. They don't look at the game. I have to tell them constantly, hey, we're here to play a game. Maybe we should look at what the 8th grade is doing and get some pointers off that. But they don't really listen to me there. And their creativity is unbelievable. You walk in the gym in the morning, they're already hyped and ready to go. The socks they wear is different than the socks I wore when I was in junior high. I mean, we're talking neon colors and apples, and I don't know what they got on their socks, but I did for my birthday. My wife gave me a pair of socks just like them that I'm going to bust out tomorrow for the game. And they're wearing my shoes. So it's been a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect with 7th graders. I've been around high school programs in Des Moines and then college teams, and these guys have been a lot of fun.
Was there ever a point when you walk in and you see the socks, some of their shoes, the first time, did you ever think, holy smokes, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I had to tell them, hey, can we not, let's at least keep it the same colors or uniforms. I don't care if you want to find a red and black and white apple to put on your socks, fine. But let's not wear neon planets and solar systems on our socks during the game. But if that's the worst thing I have to worry about, really, I don't try to fight it too much.
Talk about the phone thing. It's hard to believe that, you're not a very old guy, but how much things have changed. I'm assuming you didn't have a cell phone in high school.
No.
The internet had not really boomed yet. It was there, but we didn't have necessarily the Facebook and all the social media that we have. So, I mean, you talk about them being on their phones and stuff, but just how much of that do you think about? Thank goodness for Coach Krusich, he didn't have to deal with this.
Well, I mean, when I was going to game rides or to games on the buses, we were told not to talk. We were there in silence. Now they're on their phone the whole game or the whole bus ride, and they're right before the game they're on their phone. So, and Facebook, I mean, my mom would have had a blast with Facebook when I was doing it. I mean, it would have been horrible. So I'm glad that I'm an old timer, I guess.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit more specifically about the basketball side of it. Let's start with some of the kids, maybe your starting 5, and break down what these kids do well and what you hope to make them, what they need to get better at to get to the next level.
Sure. Quentin Koestner, like I said earlier, he understands the game so well. I don't have to tell him what plays to run. He just kind of runs it himself.
and he's a great ball handler, great scorer. I really look for him for a year and a half, 2 years to be making some impact for the Big Reds. So I really urge people to come down and watch us a little bit here these last couple games, because you're going to see kids that you're going to be recognizing their name a lot. Trent McCann, he's just really an athletic kid who kills me sometimes because he tries to make all these spectacular plays, and he makes them, but I fall down sometimes at practice because I just can't get him to make the right play. But when he makes the right play, it's spectacular. Jace Kirkland, he's a really good shooter. He can spot up from anywhere on the floor. One thing, all these kids got to get stronger, and they know that. Matt McDonald, he has got a chance to be really good. He has a really good shot. I've got to do a better job as a coach getting more shots. But he's really good at posting up and finding rebounds and getting there. And McCain, he's our other starter. McCain Odin is just a really strong kid. He's a great team player. He needs to work on a little bit of an outside shot, and he knows that. But right now, he is top notch, and I put him up against a lot of players in the state. Just a really strong, can finish around the basket. And we don't run plays for any one guy out there on the floor. We just move the ball, and if we ran plays, he'd average a lot of points, and so would Quinn Koestner. But actually, his offense we ran when I was in college. So these guys are seventh graders, and they're running an offense that we ran in college. So that's one thing. You know, I grew up, we ran offenses, but we didn't run anything real sophisticated, and I think right now it's hard for these guys, and they've had to adapt. We would beat people probably a lot worse if we didn't slow it down and run a sophisticated offense and try to get a good shot. But I think that's important for guys to learn the fundamentals of the game, to learn to move without the ball, to learn to set screens, to learn how to flare off a screen, to curl a screen when you're supposed to. And that's just really important. So they're getting things figured out. And tomorrow we get to go up against a team who gave us everything we could handle and beat us. And that was a few weeks ago, and we've made strides. And I just tell the guys, we're going to go up there. We're going to see how well we've improved, and hopefully they've improved. Sheraton has a great program. We're going to go up there, and we're just going to see how it goes. And hopefully we've done the work, and we've made the adjustments to why we lost the first time, and we've learned, and we'll go up there and play well.
The one thing I like, and I've had obviously questions with my son, and I've known a lot of these kids. The one thing I do like about this team, and I'm sure you enjoy it too, they don't care if Quentin's the leading scorer, if Trent's the leading scorer, Matthew, and any of these kids keep on a given night to be the leading scorer, and they don't care as long as they go out and win.
Yeah, I haven't heard one thing about a stat. I haven't heard one thing about, hey, coach, I need to get the ball. It's been very easy. That's not unusual. I would say every team I've ever played on, guys know they're about ready to get a double-double. Guys know if they're not getting the ball. Guys don't play hard if they're not getting the ball. These guys, you're right. They really don't care. They're just really fun guys that like to be on the team together.
We're going to grab a quick break. We've got more to talk about with Coach Brennan Chubal when we come back on Hy-Vee.
This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. As we head into a brand new year, I would like to say thank you to all of my clients that made 2014 a tremendous year for me and my business. Dozens of first-time customers trusted me with their money and IRA investments. If you have a CD maturing in the near future, you should contact me about my safe money options. You will be pleasantly surprised. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Let's make 2015 a great year for your hard-earned money, and thank you for your business. It's greatly appreciated.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appomattox County. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake is one of Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf courses. The golf season will be here before you know it, and the Preserve reminds you it's important to look your best and to have the best equipment. So stop out to their pro shop today. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake has the finest pro shop in the area. Stop out today for golf balls, golf clubs, and anything you need to look and play your best. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake, Southern Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf course and the area's only full-service pro shop.
Hi, folks. Billy Thomas with Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Service. In 2007, we opened the Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Centerville with these thoughts in mind. Provide the area with a funeral home that is supportive of the community and its people beyond the funeral service. Provide superior service that well exceeds those around us. Providing a home-like atmosphere when helping your family tailor the services to your needs. No tricks, no pressure, just genuine care. Doing all of this at the best price. At 37 years of age, I can offer my availability to your family today and decades to come. For information on funerals, cremation, or advanced planning, stop by Thomas Funeral Home or give us a call at 641-856-4321 or in Bloomfield at 641-664-2353.
The Thomas Funeral Home, building a reputation, not resting on one.
We're visiting with Coach Brennan Chubaugh, talking about our 7th grade boys basketball. Let's look at some of the other kids on the team. And, you know, the junior high level is such a vital level. You talked about teaching kids the game, but developing that love for the game. And it's this next group of kids that can be somebody who maybe they didn't get a ton of playing time at junior high, but there's always one or two that come out, and at the varsity level, by their junior and senior year, they're making huge contributions. And you've got a number of those kids that, if they stay at it, are going to contribute to our program someday. And you're one that I've seen this year that I wasn't that familiar with as a basketball player, but having a chance to ref him a little bit is Owen Pauza, and how long that kid's arms are and what a natural shot blocker that he is.
Yeah, blocking shots is not something you can teach. You got to have a timing and like a rhythm to kind of get up there at the right time, and he has that. And over there at the last game we played in Osceola, he blocked several shots, and I had to tell him, hey, let's not try to block every shot. Let's just try to shot. I mean, it was kind of being mean to those kids a little bit. But, yeah, these kids, all these kids, these next kids I'll talk about, they all have a chance to be a starter in high school. And that's something I tell them every day. If you want to play, then you're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to leave here and go shoot. You're going to have to leave here and go dribble. And they know that. And I think a lot of these kids have. I think that they listen. And that down the road, we're going to have a team in high school, because the end goal here is to have a good varsity team. And I think to have a good varsity team, you have to have depth. And we're going to have a team that has depth, that can compete, and has great players and great team players. And Owen Paz is a good example. Gabe Carson, who's really, really quick, lefty, so he likes to go left. Just kind of an awkward guard for people when you're guarding a left-hander. You're not quite ready for where their shot's coming from. He's got a lot of upside. Tyler Starr has made big-time jumps this season. He's a really good kind of scorer. He's got a knack for getting loose balls, and he needs to stick with it. Jake Bauer, we run plays when he's in the game for him to get some three-pointers. He can make those three-pointers, and he knows it. And in practice, I have to get him to kind of try to get a little closer, because the goal of basketball is to get as close as you can. And he just wants to shoot three, but he can make them. Braden Kroger is a really big kid, and I've worked with him a lot, just being in the right spots. And when you get the ball, you got to go up with it, and he's getting a lot better. He needs to stick it out. He can also be a really good football player down the road. Basketball is a great way to improve in other sports, too. Cade Moore, his dad, is a really big guy, and if he gets any of those genes at all, he's going to be a very good player, because he's got some guard skills. He can dribble a little bit. He can set screens and roll. Here comes the legend, Coach Koestner. And Cade Lechtenberg is a really good dribbler and just a really smart kid. And sometimes maybe too smart. He makes the correct play all the time, and sometimes you just got to take it to the hole. So, you know, and then down the Noah Craver's very smart too. He's kind of with Cade Lechtenberg. And those two on the floor, they're going to figure out the right play every time, and I really, really like those guys. Other thing about these guys is we have guys that want to be fashion designers, and we have guys that want to be doctors, and we have guys that want to take over their dad's business. We have a lot of guys with a lot of different backgrounds that kind of mix well. And it's been really interesting. Justice Phillips, I don't think he'd ever picked up basketball before in his entire life, but he loves being on the team. And he doesn't care about getting in the games. He doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to be part of the team. And we do our best to try to include him in everything we do. Cameron Flick is a powerful kid, and Cameron Voss has got a lot better. Actually, he had a really good practice this morning. Hughes and Henderson, those guys just got to stick with it a little bit longer and keep working. And Bowen is actually, he can make a lot of shots. And then we got the other star kid, the other twin, and he likes to shoot it from deep range. And we have to put the range on him. But all of these guys are so good. It's a pleasure to coach them. And Bieber, I forgot. Nathan Bieber, I call him Beebs. He's a smart kid too, and just makes a lot of good plays. So, like I said, it's an honor to be around these guys. They're going to be really good in the future. Coach Cruz just has a good group, and I just hope somehow, in the whole scheme of things, I've affected them in a way that makes them want to continue on in a basketball career, so that they can be a deep team when they get to be in the varsity level.
Well, you mentioned Coach Krusich. He's coming up next year to talk about this varsity team. You had a great deal of success in your years of high school under Coach Krusich, and I know he's thrilled to have you back as part of the coaching program. You guys talk much? You talk basketball very often with Coach Krusich?
And he lets us do what we do, and I appreciate that. He could easily come down and try to control everything, but that's really what makes him such a good coach and a good guy to kind of work under. He lets you do what you do as long as you're doing things right. And I'm sure I hear from him when I need to. But, I mean, like last night in our game, the line between winning and losing is so thin. I mean, it's a play here and it's a play there. It swings momentum one way, and a game that was close can end up being a 20-point defeat or a 20-point win. And you just have to remember that as a player, that you just have to shut the door when the team's making the run as soon as possible, because it's this thin. And those games that we went to state, we could easily lost. And those games that we got beaten, we could have easily won. And that team, they just got to remember they got to get better every day, because it's this thin and they're this close to being a really, really, really good team.
Well, Sheraton, your only defeat on the season so far. You get to go up there tomorrow night and get a little revenge. Talk about what you got to do different in this game. What areas caused the problem in the first game that you hope to see a difference in this time around?
Well, we were up by 6 points with a minute left, and we missed a lot of free throws. If you don't make free throws, you don't win any games. We didn't block out on free throws. We gave up free throw blockouts, and they got layups off that. And then we made a couple turnovers when we weren't quite sure how to move the ball, when they were going to foul us, or what was going on, and got a little bit off kilter. So we worked on those things. We're blocking out better. We've shot a lot of free throws. And it's just going to come down to how well we've improved. And if we play hard tomorrow night, we should be just fine.
When you played high school, you couldn't come in the lane until the ball hit the rim. College, I'm assuming you could go on the release. So you played both ways now. This is the first year with the rules going back in high school, being able to come in on the release. Which way do you prefer, and which way do you think is, more difficult to block out?
I prefer the release, being able to go in the lane on the release. It's a little more contact in the lane. It gives guys a little bit longer to push around. So I think it's harder to box out when it's on the release. Plus, guys have different releases, so you're never really sure when you can go. So you might get a late start, you might get a quick jump. It's difficult, but it's real basketball. It should be on the release. Basketball's a contact sport, so you should be able to make some contact in there and box people out. And if you got the bottom slot, you should get it every time. All you got to do is box them out. So I prefer the release.
Brennan Tubal, our 7th grade boys basketball coach, got a great group of kids, very talented group, 7-1, big game tomorrow night up in Sheraton, trying to get revenge for that only loss, an overtime loss to Sheraton. And this is a group of kids, that's this age group that are going to be battling in football, basketball, baseball, everything for several years. It's going to be a lot of fun because Sheraton has a very good 7th grade group as well. Coach, good luck tomorrow night and the rest of the season, and thanks so much for stopping out and all you do with these young men.
Thank you.
This is the pitch. Coach Krusich joins us next here on KCOG.
This is Amy from the Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square. Valentine's Day is fast approaching. Are you ready to spoil her this year? We carry roses, mixed bouquets, balloons, teddy bears, candy, and gifts sure to wow her. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop in or call today and let our friendly staff help you pick out the perfect gift just for her. Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square, or call 437-4131.
Jackson Home Center is excited to announce that we have moved to a new location. Come check us out, Jackson Home Center on the east side of the Centerville Square. Now through the end of January, with any $500 in-store purchase, you'll receive free rental of the Host dry carpet cleaning machine and a 6-pound box of cleaner. Call us for all your flooring needs at 641-856-6331. That's at Jackson Home Center, east side of the Centerville Square. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 3.
Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitchfork Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon.
This is the pitch on KCOG Centerville, and we are out at your local Hy-Vee store. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who make the show possible each and every week. Of course, our presenting sponsor, Hy-Vee, also Power and Church with our Hall of Fame Challenge. RK Auto Body, Henley Dental, Henry Orphan at the Annuity Shop, and Preserve on Rathwood Lake, Jim Ireland Menswear, Thomas Funeral Home, Chico Construction, Cook Insurance, Flower Teak, Daily Iowegian, Northside Insurance, and Jackson Home Center in their new location. Coach Matt Krusich joins us now, and Coach, boy, what a thriller last night. Obviously, you want to win them all, but just in general, a triple overtime game. You coach a lot of years and don't get into a whole lot of triple overtime games. How's your heart holding up?
I feel pretty good today, and actually, I felt really good after the game. When you go in at halftime and you're down 19. And then you come out and give the first basket away after the half, so we're coming back from 21 down. To even get into overtime, I thought was a great feat by our boys. The part that upset me was just our first half play. We didn't execute well, and I got to tip my hat to Coach Archer. He came out in a 1-3-1 zone defense, which we hadn't seen very much. We had prepared for man-to-man, so that kind of put a wrench in the works for a little while. But the thing that upset me the most about my guys is if we don't come out with energy and intensity, it's an uphill battle all night long for this team, because we have to come out with go right at people. We have to get them on their heels defensively, and we have to attack them constantly off the pass. And we just failed to do that in the first half. And naturally, they got a little bit of a tongue lash in there at halftime. But honestly, I also have to give my assistant coaches great praise last night. Coach Hill made some great offensive adjustments and had some great ideas on how to attack that 1-3-1. Because I was so mad that I was just like, our intensity's bad. We got to pick it up. We got to go at them. And he was like, well, maybe we ought to try this. Maybe we ought to try that. And we came out and set up a little bit of a 2-3 look out of our offense, and brought Brett on the baseline, got him open for some threes. And when we didn't get him open for threes, he attacked on the baseline and connected Scully and Tate, and they really stepped up big in that second half. And those three guys, I'll tell you, I think they went like 27, 27, and 22 last night, and that was the difference right there. And once we got Albia on their heels a little bit, and they knew we were going to attack them, Coach Archer went back man-to-man, and we really thought that, we love it when people play us man because we feel like we can attack a lot of people off the dribble, and that worked right back into our game. But like I said, Coach Hill made some great adjustments, and another thing him and Coach Hayes did that was really a nice job last night was they kept track of free throw shooters. Bays knew who to foul. Coach Hill was in charge of substitutions, and we had to foul a lot to get back in the game and to stop the clock coming down the stretch. And he was constantly working our bench in and out, going offense, defense, or defense to offense. And I gotta be very happy with the guys I work with because I'm sitting there thinking more about how we got to break them down offensively or how we got to affect them defensively. And I was really thrilled to work with those guys last night because I thought they stepped up and coached a great game.
Talking Big Red basketball with Coach Matt Cruzy's Big Reds losing triple overtime last night for 108-100 or
108-100. I've never been a part of a game where both teams scored 100 points. I've been, I've had a team score 100 points and I've had teams score 100 points against me, but usually it's a lopsided victory, and I've never seen a game go like that. But I'll tell you what, that fourth quarter and those three overtimes were thrilling basketball because I thought we played a level that we had not played this year, and Albia matched it with every shot that they made, and it was just a thrilling game to watch.
What is our record now?
We are 5-7, and what are we now in the conference? I think we're like 4-4.
And do you know where the conference is at as far as who's in the lead at this point?
Well, right now it's Sheraton and Knoxville. I think they both have 2 losses in the conference. Or actually, they both have 2 losses in the conference, and Albia has 3 since they dropped one to Knoxville last week. And I think they also lost to Sheraton. So I think they're out of the running now, unless somebody upsets one of those teams. And we're kind of the odd man out there. We still play Knoxville down the road, and we have Sheraton tomorrow night. So it's not impossible, but at the same time we have to come out and play that level of ball for 4 quarters against both of those teams to pull something off like that.
More with Coach Matt Cruzy right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced, lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. RK Auto Body has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals. Choose RK Auto Body. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square's got you covered when it comes to men's dress. Whether it's business or casual, Jim Ireland Menswear can help. And for the sports fans, they have lots of sports apparel, from the Hawkeyes and Cyclones to UNI and the Centerville Big Reds and Redettes. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square also has Team Ice Scrapers. Stop in today at Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square. Henley Dental in Centerville offers a full range of dental services, from regular exams to dental cosmetics. Henley Dental can help with all of your dental needs. Call today at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. They offer Clear Correct and porcelain veneers to help make that smile look better. And Dr. Nick Henley would like to remind you of the importance of scheduling a regular exam. You should have your teeth examined and cleaned every 6 months. To schedule your exam today, call 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Dr. Nick Henley at Henley Dental, 203 West Washington in Centerville.
You're listening to the Pitchfork Show on KCOG Centerville. I'm Russ W. Along with me is the Hall of Famer Chadley Koestner, and we're visiting with Coach Matt Krusich now, talking Big Red basketball. And before we jump into tomorrow night's contest, Coach, last week we had a busy week, a lot of things going on. You had a visitation to attend, so we didn't get a chance to really visit about that Davis County game, but I know you were very pleased with the way your young men came out and got a little revenge on Davis County from an earlier loss.
You bet. You know, it's always fun to take on the Mustangs, and especially when they come to our house, we feel like we always play well against them. And, you know, it was a breakout game for Derek McGran, and I really wanted to give him some recognition for that game because, you know, he's a plugger and a hard-working kid and more of a role-type player, but at the same time, he had an outstanding game. And, you know, he knocked down 4 threes. I think he was 4 or 5 behind the line. And also, you know, I think he also shot like 7 of 8 from the field. It was just his night. And it was super to see him have that type of game because you really appreciate those guys through the years, the role players that come up and, you know, kind of play second fiddle to your mainstays. And I was really proud of Garrett for stepping up and having that type of game. You know, I talk to the guys all the time because we're kind of one of those teams this year that's kind of looking for that win that's going to hang our hat on, and we want to knock off somebody big. And I told them, I go, this might be the game where we do it. And they came out, and I thought we controlled that game very well, even though Davis County, you know, they had their runs and played well. But the fourth quarter was really kind of the deciding factor when, you know, in a tight game, we had a 4-point lead, and I think there was probably like 5 minutes left in the game. We just pulled it out and four-cornered them for a while. And man, you talk about watching a team, I mean, they just lost their mind and started fouling us like crazy. And, you know, in the old days, back when I had Brendan and those guys playing for us, we used to do that all the time because we knew we could seal it at the free throw line, and we were so confident going to the free throw line. And with this group, it's kind of a hit and miss, and you got a 50-50 shot. And luckily, the 2 games we have pulled that out and done that this year, the guys have stepped up with confidence and knocked down those free throw shots and have put the game away. And, you know, I'm afraid one of these nights I'm going to dial that up, and it may not work. But at the same time, you know, their effort and, you know, it seems like those free throws get a little easier once you build a bigger lead. And, you know, I think we knocked down like the first 4 in that situation. And then you build up an 8 or 9 point lead, and then Davis County came down and were forcing shots to try to catch up quick. And those weren't going down. Well, then every time we went to the line, we kind of felt a little bit less pressure. And, you know, they just went to the line and knocked it down and sealed the win. So, and we were trying to do that. We were trying to get up in those overtime sessions last night. I felt really good a couple of times because we got a 3-point lead, and I wanted to make them come out and get us, but we had a hard time getting the lead and the ball back because they kept coming down and answering us with threes. And, you know, even their freshman, the Crawl kid, he stepped up and knocked down a couple on us also. So even when we forced it to the guys that we didn't think could make it, they knocked it down at clutch time. And, you know, like I said, it was just a heck of a good basketball game last night. But I really felt good if we could have got a 3-point lead and the ball back. And we did it one time, and they fouled Garrett. He went to the line and missed both free throws, and then they came down with about 20 seconds left and made a 3 to take it into the third overtime. So, you know, or I don't know, those overtime sessions were such a whirlwind that I ended the game thinking we went 4 overtimes, but at the same time, I've never seen 2 teams play that level of ball in overtime sessions. It seemed like we'd get up, they'd counter, we'd get up, they'd counter. And I was really afraid that once they got the lead, we might hold and open up that third overtime. Hunter Callan picked their point guard so nice. They played him so well defensively, and they called it a foul while he's on his way down to make a layup. And that to me was a big difference maker because when you put Matt Baker at the line, the kid was 19 of 19 from the free throw line on us last night. And once they got that 2-point lead, they knew they could kind of play our game back at us and stretch us out and just keep the ball in his hands and force us to foul him. And, you know, I give them credit for making those free throws, but, up to that point, I thought our boys looked really good.
Well, according to the Iowa High School Athletic Association, your game last night ranks 5th on most combined points. So that's quite a ball game. 245, number 1 Bishop Garrigan Algona, and St. Edmund Fort Dodge, 123 to 122 in 7 overtime on December 3rd, 1999.
That would have been a fun one to watch. I wonder how many starters finished that game.
I don't know.
Because I'll tell you, when we finished last night, our foul column on the stat sheet went like 5-4-4, 5-4-4. I mean, it was ridiculous. We were 1 foul away from losing just about anybody on the team. So I'm sure that would have been a fun one to watch. I was talking to Coach Kovakovich on the way home, and he said when he was playing as a senior, they lost to Albia. I think it was 103 to 98, and that was in regulation. So I think that would have been a fun one to watch also, because 2 teams scoring that many points. I think that would have been a pretty exciting game to be a part of.
Well, tomorrow night now you've got Sheraton, and when you look at the last few games, you got your revenge against Davis County. You didn't quite get it done last night, but obviously one bounce of the ball, it could have been getting the revenge against Albia. Sheraton, just a tremendous high school basketball team. They come to town tomorrow night. What do we got planned for them?
Well, our main thing is, and what we talked about at practice is just our mindset. We can't go into that game taking it too loose like we were last night. And we're a tough team to read, because in the locker room, I don't know if I need to, make it sobering them up or let them kind of be teenagers. And it's a tough call sometimes, because sometimes we'll come out and play our best game when we're loose, and sometimes we come out and lay an egg like we did last night and have to play from behind. Well, I'm telling you, if we come out and have to play from behind against Sheraton, it's going to be a hard night for us. But if we come out and play with the energy that we showed in the second half and the overtime sessions last night, I really think we can compete with them. And, the last time we played them, we were in the game the whole time. I think they built it up to 15 to 20, in about the last 3 minutes of the game. But they didn't seem like they just flat out controlled that game. I felt like we were in it up until right at the end. So if we can just come out and compete with them and then be with them in the last 5 minutes of the game, I think we can be right there. The plan is to go at Hawkinson and make him guard us. So if we can attack him and Lang a little bit and, get them on their heels or get one of their 5 in foul trouble, it could really play into our favor, because they really are not a deep team. They've got their iron 5, and if we can just get 1 or 2 of those players in foul trouble, and hopefully, the way Brett shot last night, I thought was an uplifting thing for our team. We haven't had anyone really making a big difference around the perimeter for us, and I thought Brett showed signs of doing that last night. And hopefully, I know his leg's feeling a little better, and hopefully we can come out and open things up from the outside and attack them inside, and maybe get a little bit of a balanced attack going at them.
Have you thought about any maybe defenses against Lang and Hawkinson? Because in that first game, they probably had 95% of the scoring.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Because after those 2, it dropped down to, I think, the next guy scored 6 points. So.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think they went for like 27 and 25, and then, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, last night we were messing around with a little bit of a diamond and one, and then it didn't work out so well for us. And then we kind of went to actually our best defense is what we call a Mount Pleasant defense. We put this in last year. It's our 3 guards were man-to-man, and we left Scully and Tate playing zone inside. And we're kind of thinking somewhere around that kind of thing, or just playing them straight up man and just focusing on Austin and Lang and kind of, making the other guys have to step up and hurt us. But, the role players on Sheraton are not bad players, and they can step up. And, now that they have the new guy activated, that's going to present a new challenge. I look at him a lot like the weak side forward they had last year, Willie. I can't think of his last name, but he was very effective. And I know this kid can play a lot that way. He's a garbage guy. He likes to go in and get offensive rebounds and put them back in. So we definitely have to be aware of where he's at and not let him come back in and get the shots that Lang and Hawkinson missed, even though that not very often.
We're at the top of the hour. We're going to break for our EAS. We'll come back out of the break with a couple more questions for Coach Krusich. Still to come, we've got Big Red Wrestling to talk about and Redhead Basketball. We've got our Hall of Fame Challenge and our Do You Know the Rules question all coming up on Hy-Vee the Pit.
This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. As we head
have been moved to, I think, February the 9th. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's February the 9th. And so it's going to be Jamie.
This is the station where you'll find all of your favorite artists. We're 99.7 KCOG, playing the best of the 80s, 90s, and now.
I think it's Jamie girls at 5, varsity girls 6:15, 6:30, and the boys game at 7:30, 7:45, somewhere in there probably. And it's also senior night, so I'll tell you what, I have 5 really hardworking seniors that have put in a lot of time into basketball, and I sure hope everyone can come out and support these guys. And I know Kobach has a senior on his squad, Taylor Keaton. We call her TNT, and she needs to come out and have some support. And we also have some great cheerleaders that are going to be honored. So, if you haven't been out to see the Big Reds play, it'd be a great night to come out and honor these kids that put in so much time, both in the season and the off season. And they've been very dedicated kids. And, I'm thrilled to see them get honored.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, we are going to put your brain to work here. We got Coach Dubois still here. So we got at Bryce, we got some great basketball minds here. So we'll get them slid over in this direction. Step back up, guys. It's our time for our Do You Know the Rules segment. Of course, coaches sometimes get on officials. Fans a lot of times like to get on officials, and sometimes they probably are right. Sometimes they just don't know the rules. So here's one for you. During an alternate possession throw-in, thrower A1, be the offensive guy, holds the ball through the inline, and B1 grabs it, resulting in a held ball. What is the ruling as far as then who gets the ball? A1 inbounding the ball on an alternate possession, sticks it over the inline, making it live for B1 to grab a hold. B1 grabs a hold, creating another held ball, jump ball situation. What's the ruling? Chad Lee, got a puzzled look on his.
I do have a puzzled look because I'm assuming A1 is still out of bounds.
Yep.
So in my mind, I guess I don't, and I'm an official. That's the best thing. No, because I'm thinking, all right, as soon as you get a tie-up, he's out of bounds, so it should be B1's ball, and the alternate possession error would not change. In my mind, that's where I got it.
All right. You're going with B1 and the alternate possession arrow.
Who had the arrow?
Well, at that point, A1 is throwing it in. So.
Okay, in my mind, the ball is not live just because he put it over the line. I don't think the kid can reach out and grab it. I think the ref just calls it dead and lets A1 take it out, and you give a warning to the B team about interfering with the ball out of bounds.
Okay. Coach Dubois?
I'm with Chris on that. I've never been able, as a guy guarding the guy out of bounds, you can't touch the ball is how I've always taken it. So I would say if it's just a warning or a technical foul, one or two.
Okay. Bryce, you came in late.
I think it's
A1 is inbounding the ball. He sticks it over the inline. B1 grabs a hold of it, creating a held ball. What's the ruling?
okay. I'm with you guys.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Well, you're all wrong. Okay. Some more wrong than others. All right. Here's the deal. It is legal. If A1 holds that ball over the inline, it's live game. Okay. So however, because A1 is legally out of bounds on his inbound, he's not going to be ruled as out of bounds in this particular play. It's going to be called a jump ball. A1 is still going to have to throw in, though, because the arrow has never changed on the play. So it's a jump ball, and A1 would go back to throwing the ball in. And then after the ball is legally touched in bounds, you'll have a switch. So this is one of those where you just pray to God it never happens. And so there you go.
All right.
There you go. So it says
Everyone's going to be happy on that one.
It reads specifically, since the throw-in had not ended and no violation occurred, it is still A1 ball for alternating possession throw-in.
Yeah, I just never thought it was considered a live ball until someone touches it. But if the defense reaches
on a throw-in, the ball is considered live.
Interfere with that.
On a throw-in, the ball is considered a live ball on a throw-in as soon as it's at the disposal of the thrower. And defense cannot interfere by reaching over the inline, but if you stick the ball into the court, then they've got as much right to it as anybody else. So there you go. Our Do You Know the Rules? Like clearly, I would have known that, so I will. I surely would have known that, surely. All right. We will take a break. We'll come back and talk about all things Hy-Vee with Josh Bryce, and Coach Anthony White joins us to talk wrestling here in just a few minutes. Coach Crucic, as always, thanks for stopping out. Good luck tomorrow night.
Good to see you guys.
This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. As we head into a brand new year, I would like to say thank you to all of my clients that made 2014 a tremendous year for me and my business. Dozens of first-time customers trusted me with their money and IRA investments. If you have a CD maturing in the near future, you should contact me about my safe money options. You will be pleasantly surprised. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Let's make 2015 a great year for your hard-earned money, and thank you for your business. It's greatly appreciated.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiwegian.com. That's dailyiwegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appomattox County. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake is one of Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf courses. The golf season will be here before you know it, and the Preserve reminds you it's important to look your best and to have the best equipment. So stop out to their pro shop today. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake has the finest pro shop in the area. Stop out today for golf balls, golf clubs, and anything you need to look and play your best. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake, Southern Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf course and the area's only full-service pro shop.
Hi, folks. Billy Thomas with Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Service. In 2007, we opened the Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Centerville with these thoughts in mind. Provide the area with a funeral home that is supportive of the community and its people beyond the funeral service. Provide superior service that well exceeds those around us. Providing a home-like atmosphere when helping your family tailor the services to your needs. No tricks, no pressure, just genuine care. Doing all of this at the best price. At 37 years of age, I can offer my availability to your family today and decades to come. For information on funerals, cremation, or advanced planning, stop by Thomas Funeral Home or give us a call at 641-856-4321 or in Bloomfield at 641-664-2353.
The Thomas Funeral Home, building a reputation, not resting on one.
This is the bench on KCOG Centerville, and let's talk about all things Hy-Vee. They are pudding sponsor. Josh Braid's here. Trying to move some pudding mold out there. Got a great deal on it. That's an Iowa Hawkeye Jello mold, 50 cents each while supplies last. That cart will be right there in diligently. So help me out and let's get those things moved on out of here. Maybe we can have a Hawkeye party and bring some good luck, Joe. We've seen a couple of them go. Yeah. Coach Harney, I think, picked one up on his way by. Yeah. So yeah, it's fantastic. Jello mold, yeah. Same thing. Jello mold. You can put it in if you want. Sure. You can make ice cubes out of it. Have Iowa Hawkeye ice cube for 50 cents. Why not? Can't go wrong. I mean, you could put Rice Krispie treats in it, maybe. There you go. Now yogurt. Yogurt. You're a yogurt guy. That's right. I'm yogurt. Frozen yogurt? No, them up? Nope. Just straight up yogurt. All right. Get it right out here at Hy-Vee. Once a week, come out on Saturdays now. Get my yogurt. Get some Greek yogurt. There we go. Yeah, we got some Greek. But my wife, let's say we got Chobani yogurt this week, just 88 cents. We also have Hy-Vee sandwich bread, whiter wheat, 24-ounce loaf, just 88 cents. We have Coke 2 liters, also for 88 cents. Stop by our kitchen and pick up a single topping 16-inch pizza for just $8.88 and get an 8-cent fuel saver on that all week long. And any bucket of chicken from our kitchen is 10 cents a gallon on your fuel saver card. Get out of here. All week long. You kind of face like a theme there with the 8. Yeah. I didn't really notice that, but I started saying them out loud. So I can come out and get any bucket of chicken and get 10 cents a gallon. I don't know if you know this or not, but I like chicken. I have heard that you might be a fan of a bucket of wings. Can you get a bucket of wings? We can get a bucket of wings, yeah. But I'm going to let you know a secret. Those are going to be on sale next week. Okay. All right. I'll just go for the standard bucket then. So, all right. So all of that and more right out here at your Hy-Vee store. And, of course, we always appreciate Hy-Vee having us out each and every week. And Josh will try his luck at the Hall of Fame Challenge coming up later on against Kobach and Chad Lee. We'll see how that goes for him. We'll grab a quick break. We'll come back, and we're going to talk wrestling. The Michael Lefnick Big Red Invite was this past weekend, and the little guys were on Sunday. JV was on Friday. Lots of wrestling to talk about with Coach Anthony White right after this. It looks like he's brought one of his top guys with him, so we'll talk plenty of wrestling next on Hy-Vee's The Bit.
This is Amy from the Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square. Valentine's Day is fast approaching. Are you ready to spoil her this year? We carry roses, mixed bouquets, balloons, teddy bears, candy, and gifts sure to wow her. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop in or call today and let our friendly staff help you pick out the perfect gift just for her. Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square or call 437-4131.
Jackson Home Center is excited to announce that we have moved to a new location. Come check us out. Jackson Home Center on the east side of the Centerville Square. Now through the end of January, with any $500 in-store purchase, you'll receive free rental of the Host dry carpet cleaning machine and a 6-pound box of cleaner. Call us for all your flooring needs at 641-856-6331. That's at Jackson Home Center, east side of the Centerville Square. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 3.
Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Sells and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitchfork Show. Give Sells and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sells and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon.
You're listening to The Bench on KCOG Centerville. I'm Russ W along with me, the Hall of Famer Chadley Koestner, and it's time to talk about wrestling. A busy week last week. Let's start with Coach White. Boy, from Thursday on, not much chance for you to rest there.
No, we were going every day clear through the weekend. So, yeah, we got a lot of matches in and grew up a little bit, I think. It was good for the guys, I hope.
Well,
you either grow or you die.
Well, let's go back to last Thursday. Then you go over to Davis County and kind of get the 4-day run. Started 3 days for your guys. The Sunday was the little kids, but you're over at Davis County and you got a ton of matches in right there.
Yeah, we had. We started off over there with 2 conference duels. Our last 2 conference duels against Knoxville and Clark. And then we finished up, we wrestled Davis County next, which we'd already wrestled them for conference standing. And then we wrestled New London. We had a pretty good night. I thought the guys wrestled really tough. Overall, we were way ahead as far as wins compared to losses. We had a couple of guys out, and we gave up a lot of forfeits in some of the weight classes. So we ended up losing those last 2 conference duels to Knoxville and Clark. And Clark they're doing a lot better this year. I think they've been down kind of in years past, but they had a pretty decent team really. So it was close, but we just couldn't quite pull it out there. And then we wrestled Davis County for the 3rd time this year in a duel. And last time we had wrestled them, we tied with them, and then it came down to where we won by criteria. And again, there on Thursday night, we tied with them again, and we won by criteria again. So that's our 3rd duel this year that we've tied, and then won by the criteria. So I'm getting really, really familiar with the criteria on ties. It's on page 45 in the rule book. I can flip right to it really quickly.
I think you win 3 in a row criteria. That's coaching. I mean, I don't know what that would
comes down to. Yeah, you got to when you've got just 8 guys wrestling, you really got to move around. And then we wrestled New London, which they had a really good team, and we didn't win that duel, but I was glad that we wrestled it. Tiger Turkster at 106 had a really tough match against a good kid, and so he didn't go up to the New London tournament at the beginning of the year. He was sick, so he missed out wrestling that 106 pounder from New London, but he got to wrestle a tough match with him there Thursday night. He didn't win it. He lost, I think, by a point or 2, which he's piled up just a few losses here on his record this past week here, but they were all really close matches, and he's just got a little bit of work to do to where he's going to be beating some of these pretty top guys. So that's how Thursday night went. Friday, I didn't really sometimes I'll give the guys a choice whether or not they want to wrestle in the JV tournaments. I didn't really give the guys a choice this time around. I told the guys who were going to wrestle that they were wrestling. I told the guys who weren't that they weren't. And so we had 4 guys wrestle in the JV tournament. That was 3 of our freshmen and then our sophomore, Cade Warren. So it was Ethan Wagner, Josh Morgan, Stephen Wardlow, and Cade Warren. we were down in the locker room. I pulled them all down in the locker room before that JV tournament, and they were really bummed out. They didn't want to be wrestling. They knew they were going to wrestle the next day on Saturday, and they just wanted to be able to relax. They wanted to work a table with the other guys, and just be able to kind of watch some wrestling and relax. And so I kind of got them pepped up and, told them that this was a good opportunity to go out and be able to beat up on some guys for a change instead of kind of getting beat up on as an underclassman wrestling varsity. And they got a little fired up and went out, and first round they won 4 matches between the 4 of them, and we went back down to the locker room after that, and I'm like, hey guys, good job, we're 4-0, let's go out and let's everybody win again. And they went out that second round, and everybody won 4 matches. I brought them back down there, and I said, hey guys, we're 8-0, we got one more round, let's win this whole thing, everybody takes home a gold medal. And I kind of accidentally lied to him. I said, it doesn't say JV on the back of it. Which it did. I tried to find out later. But they got fired up, and Ethan's the lightest one, and he goes out, he wins his match, and Josh Morgan's next, he wins his match, then Stephen Wardlow, he wins his match, and those 3 guys are standing on the side of the mat, like right on the side of the mat when Cade's wrestler, and they're just standing there waiting. Cade blocks his kid up, turns him over, pens him, and all 3 of those guys ran out on the mat. They're like all hugging and jumping around like they just won a state tournament title or something. But it was pretty neat to see. They got pretty excited. All of them penned all of their guys, so 12 pens, no losses. It was a really good night. And, some of those guys that came back from losing matches, they were losing and they fought back and penned the guys. So it was good wrestling, and it just got them excited, and reminded them that they're good wrestlers, and that's what I told them. When I was trying to get them pumped up, I said, you guys are good wrestlers. You're wrestling really, really tough guys, and I think they kind of forget that sometimes, and they get beat up on varsity a little bit. So that was a good night. Then we had Saturday, and
get the Mike Olympic. We'll talk about that when we come back right after this break on Hy-Vee's the Kid.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced, lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. RK Auto Body has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals. Choose RK Auto Body. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square's got you covered when it comes to men's dress. Whether it's business or casual, Jim Ireland Menswear can help. And for the sports fans, they have lots of sports apparel, from the Hawkeyes and Cyclones to UNI and the Centerville Big Reds and Redettes. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square also has Team Ice Scrapers. Stop in today at Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square. Henley Dental in Centerville offers a full range of dental services, from regular exams to dental cosmetics. Henley Dental can help with all of your dental needs. Call today at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. They offer Clear Correct and porcelain veneers to help make that smile look better. And Dr. Nick Henley would like to remind you of the importance of scheduling a regular exam. You should have your teeth examined and cleaned every 6 months. To schedule your exam today, call 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Dr. Nick Henley at Henley Dental, 203 West Washington in Centerville.
We're talking Big Red Wrestling here on Hy-Vee's the Pitch, and we've come to the Michael up Big Red invite, and this is it was always been a special tournament. It's always been fun. It's been a great tournament, and I just feel like it's since they slapped Coach Olympics name on it, it just makes it that much more special. There's hardly anybody around here that doesn't have a great deal of respect for Michael. I think even those of us that didn't wrestle, he's just a great guy, and he started what's been a tremendous wrestling tradition. So I know it's a big day for you guys.
Yeah, and he was back this year. He said it was his last time. I'm going to take him at his word. He seemed pretty serious, so we'll definitely miss him at it. It's always exciting. It was exciting there on Saturday. There's only been 5 head coaches in Centerville wrestling history, and so we had 4 out of the 5 there with Coach Lupnick and Kevin Cochran, Matt Johnson, and myself. Larry Casey was the very first one, so but it was nice. It's kind of like a little reunion, and you kind of get to see your old coach and talk to him, and he still got great advice. So it was fun.
Well, let's start with you had 4 kids end up placing, and Bradley Irwin, who's here, we're going to visit with him in just a moment. He took a 3rd place finish and ran into a pretty talented kid.
Yeah, and we see that tournament out ahead of time, and it's tough getting everything figured out. And I know Brad, and I know how tough a wrestler he is, and I'm in that seating meeting, and I'm trying to figure out where do I want to tell these guys that he needs to end up. We got this Kirksville kid that was 20-0, which for this point in the season, it's not a ton of matches, but having that 0 behind the number really helps him out. But he was a freshman, and we didn't know much about him, so we ended up seeding him 2nd, and there was a kid from Lee Summit West that we seeded in 1st, and then Brad got seeded in the 3rd spot there, and I think if we'd have had that switched around, the finals match happened in the semifinals between Brad and that kid. It was the closest match he had all day. He ended up pinning the Lee Summit West kid in the finals in the 1st period, so that kid didn't put up much of a fight against him. But I was talking here earlier, I think we underestimated him a little bit just because you just didn't know, and he was a freshman and just couldn't quite. I couldn't imagine a freshman wrestling as tough as he did, but he was a real tough wrestler. And I told Brad, he's a good wrestler. You can't feel bad about losing to him. Feel bad about losing, but he's a quality opponent. So the nice thing is we duel them next week on Tuesday at home, and he'll get a chance to put up a little better fight against them here, and hopefully we'll come out on top this time.
And then you had with Koestner, Terpstra, and Cope all end up placing.
Yeah, Tiger, he had a really tough day. Lost to a kid in the quarterfinals from Iowa City High, and then Tiger wrestled back to the Constellation semi. No, yeah. I think he faced that kid. No, faced him in the 5th place match. Sorry, I'm losing it here a little bit. But that Iowa City High kid ended up in the 5th place match with Tiger again, and they wrestled again. Tiger lost him the first time by a point or 2. They went into overtime in that 2nd match, so he put up a little better match against him. He was winning in the last 30 seconds there and got called for a locked hands on bottom, which he said he didn't lock him. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I wasn't the ref. So, but that tied it up, and it went into overtime, and that kid got the takedown in the 1 minute. So that was tough, but I'm glad he wrestled a tough tournament, and it's a good finish for a freshman in that tournament. Michael Cope with 120. I don't think he was quite ready coming out in his first match, and that first match in that tournament is so important because if you lose it, you go on the 7th place side of the bracket. That's as high as you can finish. And if you win it, then you got, obviously you can end up in any of those other top 6 spots. But he lost that first match. I think he was winning it at one point and just kind of got caught and lost it. And but I talked to him, and he kind of got remotivated. I said, you know what, all these matches on the backside of this are varsity matches. They're worth going out and winning. And so he wrestled tough the rest of the day and ended up getting 7th place, which was as good as he could do at that point, and he did it. So I was proud of him for fighting back like that. And then at 126, Noah Coatney ended up in 5th place, which I'm always proud to see a guy win his last match of the day. And Noah came back after losing in the quarterfinals, and then he lost, to get into that 5th place match in the consolation semis, and he won that match. So was real happy with the way he fought back after a couple of losses.
All in all, your thoughts on the day as far as how the tournament went, the quality of wrestling overall, and your group of kids?
I think as far as judging it from how tough it's been in years past and how tough it was this year, I'd say it's probably right up there with some of those top tournaments that we've had as far as the quality of wrestlers. We were missing maybe a couple of guys. Kirksville, this was the first year they didn't bring a full team, and I talked to their coach, and they just had some injuries. One of their really good guys at 220, McKenna Cook, ranked like 10th in the nation, had kind of dinged up his knee a little bit, so he didn't come up and wrestle, which made that weight class a totally different weight class because he would have walked through that tournament at 220. So, but yeah, it was a great tournament. I got a lot of great feedback just from the way it ran and the wrestling and the quality of wrestling that we had there.
And overall, your group of kids, what you expected, and obviously you would have loved to have seen maybe a champion or so out of there, but it's a tremendously tough tournament. Obviously, Bradley is a potential champion, ran into an outstanding wrestler from Kirksville, but were you pleased overall with it?
And it's all luck of the draw. You just never know who's going to come to a tournament and what weight class they're going to be at. And yeah, I was pleased. The last week we were up at Benton, and we only had 3 guys make it through that tournament without getting beat out. This week we had 4 guys make it through. Had one guy, Wyatt Ewalt, that was a match away from placing. So yeah, I thought just from one week to the next there, we wrestled better, and I think we're on the right track. I think everybody understands that the season is a kind of a launch pad into the postseason, and so they're heading in the right direction, trying to peak at the right time of the year.
And they had the little kids on Sunday, and I know that's kind of just now you can have a little fun, watch the little guys go at it.
It is just a blast to watch those little guys, especially those super peewees, which are the kindergartners and younger, because those guys go out there and they are just smiling the whole time. They don't care if they're winning or losing, and they're having a blast, and it's fun to watch. We had 61 Centerville Mat Club wrestlers at that tournament. It was awesome. Julie Clark got them all together and got a picture with them, and it was awesome seeing them all together. And that's counting the junior high kids also. But yeah, that was really, really cool to see. One thing before I quit talking about the tournaments, I want to thank the basketball team, which is on here. They set the mats up for us Thursday night, and they looked great and saved us a ton of work. So that was awesome. And then the Centerville wrestling parents did a great job with the food stand. I had a lot of good feedback about the concession stand this year, and so Deb Wardlow headed that up, and Paige Warren put in a lot of work, and so they did a great job just making folks comfortable and giving a good product to them. So.
Well, we're not too far away from the postseason. Before I switch over to Brad, what do we have? We have a tournament this weekend, and then when is sectional?
We're up in Des Moines at Urbandale this weekend. Next week on Tuesday, we've got the duel with Fort Madison and Kirksville. Southern Iowa Classic, the JV is Friday night over in Fairfield, and then over in Fairfield on Saturday is the varsity. No duels the following week there, and then sectionals at home on the 7th.
All right, as it sits right now, you look at these 4 kids that placed in the Big Red Invite, all shot maybe at a state tournament. Obviously, you never know what you're going to run into, but are you optimistic that if these kids go out and wrestle their best, they've got a shot to advance?
Yeah, I think they all have a very good shot. The one that's probably going to have the toughest run through there is Noah Coatney. That 126-pound weight class is just really stacked with not maybe top 10 ranked wrestlers, but guys that are right there on the verge of that. And so I think he's got a shot at beating those kind of guys, but he's going to have to put together a very good tournament, which Noah sometimes has struggled doing that in the past. Like I said, he lost a couple of matches there on Saturday that, he's going to have to win those kind of matches in sectionals and districts to get through. I absolutely believe in him. I think he can. He's working hard in the room, and I tell the guys, we got a lot of time for improvement. You can change the kind of wrestler you are in 2 weeks. So I think he can do it. He's just going to have to be willing to make the commitment.
Well, let's visit with Bradley Irwin here, our senior, finished third at the Big Red. Bradley is the guy that we fully expect to see at the state tournament as your senior year starts to wind down. Brad, do you feel good about the way this season's gone and where you're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel better than I have in my past years. I'm 37-4 in the year, and I haven't lost to an Iowa guy 132, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I have really good confidence in myself about coming into the postseason this year. And I mean, my sectional and districts are, not the hardest, but probably, not as hard as they have been in the past. I got one good kid from Minneapolis, and other than that, I've already wrestled all the other kids already this year, so should be a pretty good year so far.
37-4. You're at 132 now. Now, earlier in the year, you were at 138 or?
Yep, 138 earlier in the year. I wrestled 145 last year.
So you wrestled 145 last year, went to state at 145.
Yep.
And now you're all the way down to 132.
Yep. Yeah. A little chunky last year, yep.
Okay. And it looks to me like, maybe if you got a haircut, 126, maybe?
No. I don't want to wait for someone else.
If you get the Ruth Kovacevic due,
maybe cut off a leg.
Get right
maybe
down.
All right. Maybe closer.
All right. So obviously, you expect to get back to state. In your mind, are you going to be on the top of the podium this year? Is that realistic in your mind?
Yeah, I beat a kid in the finals that got third last year at state, and to kids he's wrestled state champions this year and only lost at 1 point. And I beat him 10-3. I'm fighting in the margin against these really good kids that I know that I'm going to be when the time comes. I'm going to be there on the top of the podium.
And you were there last year. You were there as a sophomore too, weren't you?
Yep.
Okay. How much do you from your sophomore to your junior year? Did you notice that having been there before helped, and do you feel like the experience makes it a little bit easier?
Yeah, my sophomore year, I was kind of overwhelmed by how many people are there. Because it's like a packed Wells Fargo arena, just going crazy, and it was so loud. And I wasn't used to that, and it overwhelmed me, and I didn't wrestle very well. But come my junior year, I knew what I had to do. And the first kid I beat at state, he went on the place. 8th, and then the next kid I wrestled, he went on, and I lost 4-2 to he had lost the match that year. Lost the 4-2 close one, and then he ended up getting third. And then the next, I didn't bounce. My backside match, he's a very beatable kid, and I didn't bounce back very well. So I should have been in place winner last year, but that's the past, and all I can do is just hope for this year to be on top.
All right, what's your best move? If I were gonna send Chad out here to tangle with you, what would I need to tell him to look out for?
Single leg.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, did you do a spladle? Coach Cocker, Coach Cocker, he's always wanted to put us in different moves when we're hanging out. And it's a spladle always. He tried I think Scotty finally got him in the Oklahoman or something, I don't know, but he's got all these moves. Are you good at the spladle?
Actually, last year I was Curso kid in the duel and senior night, and they had the packed gym. And they were going crazy, and they hit their kid in the spladle and pinned them. and it shut their crowd.
Can you show us on Josh real quick? Don't Brad, he'll be over there.
State champ from Eddyville. I hit it against him too, but I didn't get a pin, so I hit him at 5.2 for it. But
it doesn't look like it'd be a lot of fun to be put in the spladle. It doesn't even sound fun. It didn't look fun. So
I'm not good.
I'm out on it. You ever been spladled?
No. But I haven't been banana foot, and that's just bad.
All right, guys. Bradley, good luck the rest of the season. Good luck up in Urbandale, and it'll be postseason before we know it, and it's so exciting to have that sectional tournament here at home. Hopefully we get a big crowd for that. We're now 3 weeks away. We got 2 Saturdays before, so it's the third Saturday from now.
So 17 days till sectional.
All right, 17 days sectional. Mark the calendar. We'll come back. Talk Reddit basketball with Coach Rudolph Kovacevic right after this on Hy-Vee The Bench.
This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. As we head into a brand new year, I would like to say thank you to all of my clients that made 2014 a tremendous year for me and my business. Dozens of first-time customers trusted me with their money and IRA investments. If you have a CD maturing in the near future, you should contact me about my safe money options. You will be pleasantly surprised. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Let's make 2015 a great year for your hard-earned money, and thank you for your business. It's greatly appreciated.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appomattox County. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake is one of Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf courses. The golf season will be here before you know it, and the Preserve reminds you it's important to look your best and to have the best equipment. So stop out to their pro shop today. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake has the finest pro shop in the area. Stop out today for golf balls, golf clubs, and anything you need to look and play your best. The Preserve on Rathbun Lake, Southern Iowa's premier 18-hole championship golf course and the area's only full-service pro shop.
Hi, folks. Billy Thomas with Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Service. In 2007, we opened the Thomas Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Centerville with these thoughts in mind. Provide the area with a funeral home that is supportive of the community and its people beyond the funeral service. Provide superior service that well exceeds those around us. Providing a home-like atmosphere when helping your family tailor the services to your needs. No tricks, no pressure, just genuine care. Doing all of this at the best price. At 37 years of age, I can offer my availability to your family today and decades to come. For information on funerals, cremation, or advanced planning, stop by Thomas Funeral Home or give us a call at 641-856-4321 or in Bloomfield at 641-664-2353.
The Thomas Funeral Home, building a reputation, not resting on one.
We're talking local sports a little bit more on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Coach Mac Tabakovich joins us now to talk about Redhead basketball. Before we jump into this Redhead team and their latest on the court, let's do our Hall of Fame challenge. Super Bowl now is all that's left in the NFL football season, other than the Pro Bowl. I was going to say that fantasy football. That's fantasy football is real, but get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, this year's has a couple of teams nobody really cares about, the Seahawks, the Patriots. But anyway, should have been the Cowboys. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. Give me the first 5 teams to win a Super Bowl. The first 5 teams to win the Super Bowl. Now, that's not like, I mean, if somebody won multiple, that's fine, but I'm looking for 5 different teams. The first 5 franchises to enjoy a Super Bowl title. We'll take a break. We will come back after this to find out how they did on our Power Insurance Hall of Fame challenge, brought to you by Power Insurance of Moravia. Call 724-9000.
This is Amy from the Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square. Valentine's Day is fast approaching. Are you ready to spoil her this year? We carry roses, mixed bouquets, balloons, teddy bears, candy, and gifts sure to wow her. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop in or call today and let our friendly staff help you pick out the perfect gift just for her. Flower Teak on the northeast corner of the Centerville Square, or call 437-4131.
Jackson Home Center is excited to announce that we have moved to a new location. Come check us out, Jackson Home Center on the east side of the Centerville Square. Now through the end of January, with any $500 in-store purchase, you'll receive free rental of the Host dry carpet cleaning machine and a 6-pound box of cleaner. Call us for all your flooring needs at 641-856-6331. That's at Jackson Home Center, east side of the Centerville Square. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 3.
Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction, For all your excavating needs, remember,
Can.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitchfork Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon.
You're listening to The Pitch on KCOG Centerville. It's time for our Power Insurance Hall of Fame Challenge. Answers the question, what were the first 5 teams to have won a Super Bowl? Now, Fagan was in. He took his answer sheet with him to go back and wait on somebody, so we'll have to see how it did. But here we go. The Green Bay Packers. Everybody 1 for 1? The New York Football Jets. Sure you got that, old Joe Willie Namath. The team from Kansas City, the Chiefs. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Thank you for Joshua. The Baltimore Colts. And finally, so Josh has all 4. Jacob's at 3. Kovac at 3. Jedley? 2. Just 2. So you're out of the run. I'm out of the run. Do not know what Fagan's sitting on. But here it is. The Dallas Cowboys. Oh, my goodness. Kovac pulls out a tie, sending us into overtime. Oh, my goodness. Jacob, did you have the Cowboys? All right. So let's get Fagan's answer sheet real quick. Check and make sure he's not involved here. Steelers, no. Niners, no. You're out. I got the Cowboys. All right, gentlemen, here you go. Last year's attendance at the Super Bowl was 82,529 human beings. What was the attendance at the first Super Bowl? It was played at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, by the way. Closest to takes the title. Check, get your calculator ready in case you're safer. How many people were there in attendance for the first Super Bowl? You get a number? You got a number? Novak, what do you got? All right, 70,000. Josh? There was 61,946 in overtime. Come gets the win. I don't know how he does it time again. Outstanding. All right. Let's talk Reddit basketball. Coach lost a tough one last night, 51-50, but you guys were on, a 3-game win streak going into that?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we had won 3 games in a row going into that game last night, and we were a few buckets away from being 4-0, or on a 4-game winning streak, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted it, but wow, what a game. It's a great basketball game.
You knew, obviously, Avi was going to be looking for some revenge in a good game down here where we got the victory. You go up there to really, obviously, you want to win the ball game, but you got to go up there and play well. At Albi, it's tough to go up there at any time. So your girls obviously showed up ready to play.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was one of our main focuses, was starting the game off well and starting the third quarter off well. And I thought we did that pretty well last night. We started off making baskets, and we couldn't very well stop them at all. They came out shooting the ball very well, just like kind of we did, and it was an exciting game from start to finish.
I talk about some of the girls individually. Who had your best night last night?
Well, without a doubt, you have to start with Taylor Lawson. She had a career high last night with 29 points, 12 for 14 from the floor, and 5 for 6 from the free throw line. She was just tremendous. We got the ball in her in spots where she could be successful, and when she got the ball down there, it was good as gold when it was going in. Like I said, the 2 shots that she missed, I think she got fouled on both of those shots. That's whatever. But she just played tremendous. She was just dominant in the paint. I mean, they had nothing for her last night.
Good coach. She picked up her 3rd foul there in the 3rd quarter, and she sat an awful long time there in the 3rd quarter. I was kind of surprised that you didn't put her back in before you did.
Yeah, and Coach Moore and I talked about that. She picked up her 3rd foul, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was about 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
and we were up maybe 1 or 2, but it was a tight-knit game, and I just didn't want her to get a fourth foul in the third quarter, and I went as far as I could go. If it was going to be any more stretched it to 7 or 8 points, she was going back in the game. But I thought if we could just keep it within 4 or 5 or 6 points there, just in that third quarter, that we could come out in the fourth quarter and play our game and get her back in there and get back in the game. And sure enough, we did right out of the chute in the fourth quarter. Bucket, stop, and another bucket, and we're sitting there with a tie ball game. So, in hindsight, maybe left her in, but if you leave her in and she picks the fourth foul, then I look like even more of a moron than I am than putting her back in, So I think we did it right.
Yeah, my only thought was that at times there with her on the bench, some of the group looked lost. Like,
Absolutely.
They didn't know who to go to. You didn't really have a list that wasn't as aggressive as what we've seen her in the past. So it was almost like you were looking for a score, and your scorer was on the bench.
Yeah, it was almost to the point where, Coach White would know a lot about it. It was almost in a stall situation where I told Coach Moore, just get me to the fourth quarter, get me to the fourth quarter, get me to the fourth quarter, because you're right. When she came off the floor, it looked like we had no idea we'd ever seen a basketball at times there for a second. And at the same time, Alyssa has to be more aggressive when Taylor comes off the floor. You're exactly right. She's got to want the ball in that situation, and she's got to take a majority of the shots within that 4-minute span. And then we talked about that. We discussed that. So hopefully if that situation arises again, hopefully Taylor doesn't get in a lot of foul trouble here from here on out, but it is sure to happen. And if that situation arises again, Alyssa's got to take control of that game.
Let's go back before the Hy-Vee game, and since last we talked, you had, last time we talked, we were fresh off a big win against Davis County. You picked up a couple more. Tell us about those.
Yeah, I think we had, let's see, we had Seymour on Monday, and, we got Seymour on the schedule over the break, over the summer. They're a young team. I know Coach Henner's over there. I coached with them for a couple of years while I was at Seymour, and asked them if they wanted to come over and play us, and they said yeah. And like I said, they're a young team going through some growing pains, but they've got a young group in junior high that's outstanding. So if we can keep them on the schedule, that's going to be a team just like playing a conference game, because they've got an 8th grade class that's just winning all kinds of games over there. So we came out well Monday night. We did just enough to win the game. I didn't think our energy was where it needed to be. It certainly wasn't like it was last night, but you're playing. You come into a game like that, you got Hy-Vee on the horizon. You play a team that's obviously, they look at quick stats. They see a team that that's struggling a little bit. So I didn't think we had enough energy that I thought I didn't think we played that well, but we played good enough to get the job done.
And then before that was a Harmony. And that's Davis County, Harmony, Seymour, and then Albion.
Yeah, Harmony. I don't know. These games they run so in between. But Harmony, another team that we got on the schedule this year, and it's a little young. They're a very young team. Probably even younger than Seymour. Same situation. Went over to Harmony and played well over there. I thought on somebody else's floor. I thought Taylor and Alyssa controlled the paint pretty much the whole game, and our guards played pretty well there. Played good enough to win that ball game as well.
All right, so now we got to bounce back from last night's duel and go get after it with Sheraton. And this has got to be a team I would think that the girls have had in mind since the trip up there. This is a game we should consider a win.
Well, yeah, we think that we can win it. We play well. I think if we played like we did last night, we can win the ball game. Certainly be in the game. Sheraton's just a tough team to play against. Coach Standy, he coaches that basketball team like he used to coach his football team. It is just like a 3 yards in a cloud of dust with the basketball team. They get after you, they hound you. You never know what defense they're in. Are they man? Are they zone? Are they full court press and 3/4 court pressing? And he just kind of mucks the game up a little bit, where it just makes it look like there is no rhythm to the game. So we're going to definitely have to handle the pressure, get the ball before. That's where we ran into a little bit of trouble up at Sheraton in the second quarter there. So we've worked on that. We worked on it pretty much the whole practice tonight against their pressure. So hopefully we can get the ball before with limited turnovers and make some shots, get the ball inside.
Which last night I thought you handled the press fairly well. It was after you got over half court that you turned the ball over a couple times.
Yeah.
But then you had 2 turnovers back to back against that pressure. So, but all in all, I thought you handled the press fairly well.
Yeah, we did. We're getting better. I mean, it's we should. I mean, we practice as much as we did. I mean, we certainly shouldn't be getting worse. So we did well, but we come into those situations where sometimes, and we've talked about it. When you turn the ball over, it leads to a layup. It seems like it always leads to 2 or 3 more. Right in that situation, then we get to figure it out, and we get out of it, break it, and things like that. We just got to limit. If we turn it over, go to the next play. Like last night, with the last 2 minutes, we probably turned it over 3 times in the last 2 minutes of that ball game, and up to that point, we only turned it over, 12 or 10 or 11 times the whole game. So we just got to make sure we keep the turnovers just at a limited number, and just make sure they don't come in bunches.
Redheads taking on Sheraton tomorrow night, coming off a loss last night, 51-50, a great game at Albia. And now we try to bounce back and get a little revenge against Sheraton. We'll grab a quick break. We'll come back and put a wrap on tonight's show right after this on Hy-Vee's The Bench.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced, lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. RK Auto Body has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold-class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose gold-class trained repair professionals. Choose RK Auto Body. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square's got you covered when it comes to men's dress. Whether it's business or casual, Jim Ireland Menswear can help. And for the sports fans, they have lots of sports apparel, from the Hawkeyes and Cyclones to UNI and the Centerville Big Reds and Redettes. Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square also has Team Ice Scrapers. Stop in today at Jim Ireland Menswear on the south side of the Centerville Square. Henley Dental in Centerville offers a full range of dental services, from regular exams to dental cosmetics. Henley Dental can help with all of your dental needs. Call today at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. They offer Clear Correct and porcelain veneers to help make that smile look better. And Dr. Nick Henley would like to remind you of the importance of scheduling a regular exam. You should have your teeth examined and cleaned every 6 months. To schedule your exam today, call 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Dr. Nick Henley at Henley Dental, 203 West Washington in Centerville.
You're listening to The Bench on KCOG Centerville, and visiting with Coach Matt Kovacevic about Red F basketball. Big game here tomorrow night. We'll get to that in a second. It's senior night, but I know we talk about the winning streak of the varsity team. Your JVT's been on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, they've won a couple games here of late, and they're really starting to play well. I thought last night was their best overall game. Just getting up and down the floor. I thought their energy was tremendous last night. And, Coach Moore does a great job of them in practice, getting them to be where they need to be. And, it's just another group of girls that are working their tail off, and they keep working. They're going to be helping us for the next 2, 3, 4 years in this program, building this program where we need to go.
Well, tomorrow night, hard to believe, is our final home game of the year.
Absolutely.
So it's senior night, small class, just one for you, but what a great kid.
What a great kid. She's been in the program all 4 years, and she's been with me now, too. She's worked her tail off all summer long, getting in the open gym. She was one of the, Taylor Lawson. I don't know how many, I could count on my hand how many open gyms she missed, and if she did, it was because a very serious situation was going on. She's been there. She's a great teammate. She keeps everybody up. And I couldn't ask, out of any senior, I couldn't ask any more than what she's done for this program this year and the previous 3 years that she's been in this program. She's going to be a tough loss next year.
We'll say goodbye to
Taylor Keaton. Did I even mention her? Everybody knows her. TNT.
It's a great kid. Been a great asset to the program. Get out and support her tomorrow night as the Redettes play host to Sheraton in our final home game of the year. And it's a game where we're looking for some revenge, a game that it's talent-wise, we have a chance to compete and a chance to pick up another win for the Centerville Redettes. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors on the show: Jackson Home Center, Daily Wheaton, Northside Insurance, Flower Teeth, Cook Insurance,
Chico Construction, Thomas Funeral Home, Jim Ireland Men's Wear, the Preserve on Rathbun Lake, Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop, Henley Dental, Mark Auto Body, our insurance with our Hall of Fame Challenge, and our presenting sponsor, Hy-Vee. Don't forget to get out here and get one of these Jello molds for 50 cents. They're right by the front doors. Can't go wrong for 50 cents right out here at your Hy-Vee. They're Hawkeye color. And, we're trying to, get over last night's debacle, but still, we're Hawkeye fans here, Chad. So, Sure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Big thanks to Kyle Ocker for his work and for bringing up that information on that Big Red's now involved with the fifth highest scoring game in state history with their 108-100 deal last night. And thanks to him for bringing that up and all his work. For Josh Bryce, Chad Lee, and all my guests, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Until next time, I'm Russ W. Ocker saying so long.